Welcome everybody to part 2 of Major Minor. This is Red Panda Gaming and we are going to be doing, well, as I've just said, part 2 of Major Minor the game. This is a continuation of the one that I've just made, and hopefully this will work out quite nicely in our favor. So, without further ado, let's get back into the game quite now. Quickly, let's get into it. It's saved. Train. This one I think is going to be quite long. I don't know. I'm using Bandicam, so I don't know if it's going to fit all, or if it only allows me to record 10 minutes, or if it doesn't. So, if this surpasses it, I guess we'll see. My consciousness shoots back into a place I was standing here just mere moments before. Who was that exactly? Thank you for asking the question I was about to. And where the heck was I? Another question answered by myself in-game. Thank you. I scratched my head in sheer confusion and realized that these are questions to go unanswered for now. In time. It definitely wasn't a dream. When I wake up from the dream, you normally know immediately that you were dreaming. That's a lie. I had a dream a few nights ago that I could have sworn music on my phone was working when it still didn't. I won't get into that. But this confusion goes beyond that. I grasp the cold metal railing in front of me. Those that are standing up waddle back and forth with the train's changing momentum. You know, momentum. Physics. Anyway, I was lucky enough to secure a sitting spot, which was for the best. It was odd there was a railing to grip for those who were sitting down. Keep in mind, this is important, this part right there. As if they expected the probability of someone stumbling to vertigo and needing support as they fall. Or perhaps it was to hold on in case of emergency. Like if the train got into an accident or derailed. Spoiler, it doesn't happen. Neither of those things happen. An accident, kind of, but you'll see. I shake my head, realizing that this is the childish train of thought. Train of thought. Ha ha ha! And then I laugh at the pun I just made. I am myself in this game. I swear I have to be. Awkward glances shift towards me. For a second, I'm glad no one around me seems to speak English. They wouldn't have to question my face and why I might appear unstable. I didn't say that right, but it works. Although, it would be nice to have somebody I could converse with on this ride. It shouldn't be too much longer until we reach our destination, Tokyo, Japan. The inner child that was enjoying his own pun lets out an excited giggle at the fact. Who didn't dream of going to Tokyo? I know I didn't. I did. I want to go to Tokyo. I still do. One day. I think everyone wanted to experience this culture at least once in their lives. I agree. And I was lucky enough to go in style. I was lucky enough to do it in style. There we go. And it was just the first of many places. What would surely be the best year of my life. Chapter 1. A rook in a hard place. Music change. I don't remember. I think it saves here. Maybe it doesn't. If it does, I'm going to keep going. Okay, that's wonderful. You meet these two right away. Soon. Okay, button. Okay, it's fading again. Does it save here? No, it doesn't. While my left hand gripped the rail tightly, my right hand firmly held a can of Popstar. It was a brand of energy drink that was most famous by the pop idol Clace. Clace. I'm hoping that's how I'm saying it, so that's what I'm gonna go with, Clace. The pop idol whose tour I was about to go on. I'm speaking English, I swear. That's right. 2 special cans were sent into the wild, and those that found them got to tour with Clace for a year. Tokyo was just the first of many stops I would make. While me and my newfound caffeine addiction, of course. But it was worth it, I swear. It's worth it to an extent. The odds of winning are literally 1 in billions. I'm one of them. I was ready to celebrate that fact and have the time of my life. I really hope that Clace is nice. I won't give anything away about that because I know a little bit. I hear that some celebrities can be some complete self-absorbed jerks in English, and nobody has a really good gauge of how a celebrity acts on a day-to-day life. What we see on stage is definitely not their real self. I agree. Look at any celebrity ever. Of course, I was a sensible type of person. I didn't judge anybody until I actually got to know them. To an extent. There's some people I judge, but it all depends. Media. A character trait that was very lacking in today's world. Today's world. But that's none of my business. It's not right to focus on changing other people. You can only really change your own. You can really only change yourself. I agree. Can I save here? Nope, apparently not. Before I can continue any of my interception, someone trips in front of me. They land in the seat beside me and grip the railing tightly. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I swear he's Canadian. I nod my head. It's not the end of the world or anything like that. I just didn't expect it. First time on a train. I'm not sure what came over me. I just got really dizzy all of a sudden, and my body gave way. Good thing they have these railings to grab onto, or I might have fell face first into the floor. Not a pretty thought. Huh. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, sorry and whatnot. I'll try to keep to myself. I try to explain that it's fine and everything is okay. But this young squirrel seems to be so caught up in the fact that he's condemned the most egregious offense. I don't know what that means, sorry. I'm sorry. And so I decide to let him be. Beep. Beep. The train shakes and comes to a grinding halt. The squirrel beside me starts to panic. I don't blame him. Great. Just what we need. Oh no. What's happening? Are we going to die? I can't help but snicker at that. He's clearly one of the worst case scenario thinkers. It's probably just something that'll even itself out through the course of the next little while. Sorry about that, everybody. This is the free trial of Bandicam, so I only have 10 minutes of recording time. So I will be jumping in and out like this from time to time, depending on how long the videos take. So, Without further ado, I will reread this and we will get on with the game. Oh, I didn't reread that. You got to see it anyway, so you can read it then, I guess. He goes rummaging through his bag. A big bookworm too, isn't he? I decided to just sit back and wait it out. In situations like this, there was really nothing you could do. I tried to think of how I could get myself occupied. I can't use my phone for anything other than text messaging. The roaming data charges while I was aboard would be substantial. But everyone back home is already asleep because of time zones. Everyone else on board the train starts to realize that this is no big deal also. They return back to talking among themselves, and just as they were beforehand. My phone vibrates and I go to look at it. What are the odds? It's Rook. Rook. Are you almost here? I can't wait all day, you know. He's the one I'm supposed to meet at the train station. He's wondering where I am. I'm not sure exactly how to respond to this message. Do I let him know I might be behind? Now this is what I chose last time, and it didn't perfectly work out to my favor. But I'm going to choose it anyway and just go along with the storyline I was working with initially. So, here we go. I can't say for sure. I choose to be honest with him. Wouldn't want to start things off with a bad start. Gah! Uncertainty. My least favorite thing to hear. Very well. But somehow, I feel that's exactly what's happened. I make a mental note in the future to not go against any plans Rook makes for me. He seems like the type that needs everything to go according to his schedule. I was kind of the same way, but a little less to the extreme. I look up from my phone for a moment and ponder whether or not to respond. I see that the squirrel from earlier is also texting away frantically. I wouldn't be surprised if he's texting his parents farewell from his fear of death. I decide that it would probably be best not to reply. I wouldn't want to elaborate his anxiety about this situation and possibly make things worse. There we go, English. I give him a proper explanation in person. I will give him a proper explanation in person. There we go. I put my phone away and recline in the seat. I wasn't sure exactly what Rook's relation to Clace was, I'm gonna get that right, but I knew that this was the guy I was meeting. It's something I was only told last week. Normally they'd have a limo and everything, but I think they wanted to play it low. Don't need to overwhelm the moment No need to overwhelm me the moment I arrived. Readjusting in my seat, because this seat is very uncomfortable. As cool as a flood of media coverage sounded, I didn't think I'd be able to keep my calm for too long. I wonder if I'll go full-on cliche and hold out a large piece of cardboard that said Miru on it. I'm assuming that he's not the guy who would normally go and pick up contest winners. After the change of plans, he's probably just volunteered. Or maybe he was forced. I like not knowing everything. I'm different. Discovering the story piece by piece would be fun, but I do agree with that. Speaking of which, I wonder who the other contest winner was. Would we get along? Are they cool? The personality and how we got along would definitely impact the enjoyment of this whole endeavor. You wouldn't want to travel the world with a stick in the mud, that's for sure. I know that I'd be more than willing to come along and have fun. So this is one of them. Wait, to get along and have fun, but this... one of them, that didn't happen. In English. Anyway. Squirrel. Still hasn't told us his name. I don't remember it offhand. I can't. This has never happened before. I hope we're gonna be okay. I thought he said this was his first time on a train. That statement was a little odd. Well, there's no point sitting here in awkward silence. We might as well get to know each other for now. You can call me Killa. There we go, I remember now. I didn't just read the screen to remember, I swear. Yeah. I'm here to visit some friends. Music change. What about you? What brings you to Tokyo? It's nice to meet another English speaker. Wait a minute. I definitely signed a non-disclosure agreement. I said that I wouldn't tell anyone about my involvement in this contest until it was all publicly announced. But then again, I could make a friend here. He might be mightily impressed with who I am, but isn't breaking the NDA against the law? What should I say? Again, this is what I said in the last one, so I'm gonna go with it. I decided to stick to my morals and not break the contract I had signed, no matter what hung in the balance. Make friends on the way. Doesn't mean you have to reveal your whole life story to them. It's probably for the best, though. A lawsuit or worse was the last possible thing I wanted. Oh, you can't say? I understand. I'm not here for anything overly special. I'm gonna say there's 2 contest winners, and that's all I'm gonna say. Hint, hint. I'm just here to visit my brother. Wait, I thought he was here to meet his friends. Now he's here for his brother? He gives me a sly smile before abruptly changing the subject. There's a few hints there as to who the second contest winner might be. What an odd character. I feel like he's hiding something. It's my first time in Tokyo, though. I can't wait to go to a maid cafe. I personally don't know what that is, but I'm already interested, so... I heard those were the best. I come to the realization that his attention span is not his strong suit. I feel like we're talking about 10 things per minute here. Perhaps he's not hiding anything as much as he's planning lots of stuff. What about you? Would you ever want to go to a maid cafe? Does that sound like not your thing? I want to see the outcome for saying no, but I said yes in the other one, so I'm going to say yes again. There's multiple files. I can start again and just do this again. I might do it in another playthrough. I don't know. We'll figure that out in time. I would love to. Awesome. We'll just have to keep in contact then. I've been looking at the tourist sites and I found some places. I actually have quite a few cafes I'd like to check out. But I'm not in any rush though, since I'll be here for a year. Here for a year. The contest lasts for a year. More hints. A year, huh? Before I can question him any further, the train starts moving again. Everyone standing up jerks back at the sudden movement. And that they didn't take very long at all. That didn't take very long at all. There we go. So this is going to end, so I'm just going to pause it here. I'll reread this in a moment. Oh goodness, we're already at the 20-mark minute. Okay, so we're going to keep going from here, and we're going to figure this out one step at a time. That was it? Wow. I was sure scared for nothing. I let out a nervous laugh as I'm not sure what to say to him. I wouldn't want to say the wrong thing and belittle him for freaking out. You know, it wouldn't it wouldn't be a bad thing to hang out with this guy at a maid cafe. He seems like he'd be an interesting company to keep. He never seems short of conversation and always has lots to talk about. That's all you really need. I agree. I wonder what Rook is like. More importantly, I wonder how he'd treat me when we met, especially after this text message incident. He really didn't seem happy that I showed him doubt. I didn't show him doubt, I just said I don't know if the train's gonna get started right away, therefore da-da-da-da-da-da-da. In fact, I had the distinctest feeling that I'd be hearing about it later. Not much. However, I could rest easy knowing that I told him the truth. That's the upside. Wouldn't want to lie. I think that a momentary pitfall from telling the truth is better than lying about doing with the intent to hide. It's just so much simpler to tell the truth, no matter how you get around, no matter how these... You're reading it for yourself, I'm sorry, I can't. Next. Speaking of lies, I take a big sigh of relief knowing that I didn't break the NDA and tell Killa. I'll be able to rest a little easier tonight. That's for sure. I can English. Breaking the contract would be one massive lie. No kidding. I give myself an imaginary pat on the back. This isn't imaginary. I'm doing a good job. The events of the train ride seem to be playing through my mind like clockwork. I wonder over and over, what would have changed had I said things differently? Anyway, was I happy with what I said? I don't remember the last time I got so analytical. I think I said that right. Perhaps it wouldn't be that weird a vision I had. Perhaps it would be because of that weird vision I had. I could control my destiny. There was more to it, I'm sorry. What a ridiculous thought. If I could control my own destiny, I don't think this is where I'd want to be. Or would it be? That's always a good sign. At the exact moment, I felt an intense pain in my chest. More pain than I'd ever felt before. It pulses with my heartbeat. It's unbearable. I go to clutch my gut instinctively, only to find that I cannot move. Everyone around me seems to be frozen in place. The pain radiates through my body until eventually settling in my head. I feel a burning pain. My eyes start to water, and I feel a tear stream down my cheek. I can't move. I can't call for help. But then I feel that paw on my shoulder again. He's back. Very, very tiny spoiler. And the pain fades away. What the hell? I'm glad that you're starting to ask the important questions, Miru. What would happen if I had said something different? How would the world shape around this? Analyzing our choices is the only way we can endure it to make the correct ones in the future. For example, you expressed interest in that idea of a maid cafe with Killa. Yeah? Can't say that's what I would have chosen. Poor pity you're not playing the game. Soon you'll be surrounded by new and interesting people. Interesting people. No need to plan with someone outside that circle. But I digress. If that is truly something you desire, then I have no way to change that, as your will is reality. and my opinion is not yours. I do not mean to make you feel as if you've made the wrong choice here. But then there's Rook. I can't help but feel your message, or your response to his message affected your relationship. And not for the better. I know. I'm sure he'll come through though. Telling him the truth was the right thing to do. It was. If you had only waited a few minutes to respond, however, the train would have began working quite quickly. But there's my issue. The train stalling did not convey initial working of your mind. If anything, you were excited to arrive and begin your adventure. So then, why? It appears that even I do not know everything. Probably for a good thing. Now tell me your name. Perhaps that is best. I remain ignorant in some capacity. As those around you should, and do. I commend you not breaking your contract. I commend you for not breaking your contract. Gil did not need to know. Nobody needs to know until the world is ready. I think we can both rest assured that telling him was optimal. I made one good choice. 1 out of like 3. Good. 1 down. 3 maybe. I don't know. We'll figure this out. So as you can see, a choice is not simply a choice. A choice is a consequence, whether immediate or far off. And our choice is a chance for deep reflection of both you and others. So, for all your sakes, I hope that you put immense thought into the choices you from here on out. Alas, my input can only go so far. The choices are still yours to make. I can only partake in the reflection with you. However, we are unable to change what has already been done. We lack that power. I know you feel like I owe you some answers. Like your name? Like what the arc is? Maybe? And that might well be true. But they do not come so soon. Don't leave without telling me your name! Okay, now that we're at another save point, we're going to stop the video here because this has already been 28 minutes long. It's probably going to go on to 20 now with my rambling. So, with all that out of the way, we are going to pause it here. I think I'm just going to save here and just leave it at that. I will make another video tomorrow. I'll figure this out because I don't know how much capacity my iPad has for saving video. So, thank you everybody for joining me with Red Panda Gaming and with Miru Gaming here, and we will see you next time in Major Minor. See you in part 3, and can't wait to see you there. Bye-bye!